愉快で楽しいド派手魔法バトルもせっかくご用意していたのですが、茶番は嫌いだと仰せですので、ざっくりはしょらせていただきましたのでピース。ちょっと残念でピタ。
構わんわ。料理の説明が長くて冷めてしまっては何の意味もない。
Yeah, I guess so.
配膳は手早く。出来たての熱々を食わせるのがレストランの基本だろ。
ではあるけれど、食器も揃わないうちから素手でがっつくのはさすがにノーマナーよね。全くその通りで、素手で食べろなどという野望を申すつもりはございません。それではどうぞ、赤いフォークでも青いスプーンでも存分にご所望くださいでピース。まずは私たちが求めるべき答え、つまりこの魔女の正体、それについてもう少しはっきりさせておきたいわ。
そなたはエピソード1からエピソード8までの間に存在している一人の人物であったな。さらに明確にしてもらおう。その人物とは我ら3人が全員認知できているものなのであろうな。
認知とは？
例えばだ、エピソード8の中でラムダデルタ教のご友人にはとんでもない化け物が多いというような表現が出てくる。仮にこの化け物の中の一人が正解だったなら、確かにかけら中に登場はしているが、俺たちは誰も名前を知らない。
Pretty much what I was thinking of previously. I mean, them as characters, they exist, I guess. Actually, can you even say that they even exist? They don't exist in the story of Umineko. They're not relevant. That's probably the best thing that I can say about this. Like they're just not relevant. We don't even know their names. Like they never made like any physical appearance, nor do they have like any role that would impact the characters in some way, whether it's like the main focus or in like the smallest way possible. No.
よって俺たちに正解は不可能ってことになる。はあ、なるほど、わかりました。それでは赤で申し上げまピース。私の名前はあなた方3人がはっきりと知っているものです。つまり私の存在と名前は皆様の知っているものの中に含まれているということです。知っている？
They definitely know your name. And that includes Beller and Angie. So it has to be someone that is either related to the Ushiromiya family or Dokenjima instant. Like, it cannot be, for example, servant number 27, like, who occasionally serves the family in like the off days or something like that. No. Because while Beatrice may know that particular servant, Beller and Angie would not. For example, Brunon, the servant that I mentioned previously, like, she's out because Beller and Angie, they never had anything to do with that servant for them to even know their name to begin with. Beatrice knows, but Beller and Angie, nah. And in like the opposite direction, Angie is the only one that knows Kawabata and Juza, whereas Beller and Beatrice, no. So yeah, we're gonna be dealing with well, unless she's talking in a meta sense, like a character that we know. Because if that's the case, all three of them would know about Kawabata, all of them would know about I don't know, Juza, those in the future. A battler, like meta battler, would know about some of the servants that lived and served, like in the mansion, like prior to the Rokkenjima incident. You know, like those servants that look like the stakes and all that, they would know at this point. Nah, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's in a meta sense. I think it may have to do with the history, like real life human timeline, like the events that led up to the Rokkenjima incident and what happened afterwards, not in a meta sense.
つまり私たちは会ったことがあるということ？
その問いには答えません。それでは答えの幅が大幅に狭くなってしまって今日をそがれてしまえまピス。
Either someone they met or did not.
道理であるな。わらわたちは3人いる。立ち位置も境遇も違う。誰が会っていて誰が会っていないか、そんなものが明かされたら答えはかなり限定されてしまうだろうからな。
Okay, so Beatrice is talking about in a more human, realistic timeline right over here. Like the events and such, not in a meta sense. Okay.
しかしこの猫箱の中に登場した人間と魔女と家具と武具となんとかと。
God damn it. You Battler are thinking in a meta sense now.
一体どれだけの名前が登場したってんだ？
私たちに正解は可能であるということを保証しただけで難易度を下げてくれたことにはまるでならないわね。
So yeah, we don't even know yet. Like either it's in a meta sense, in which case the number of characters would be huge, or in a more realistic human timeline approach, in which case we would have to determine like not the character, but the person, the human that all of them have something in common with.
しかしわらわたちは3人いる。それも魔女と人間、猫箱の中と外、異なる立場を持つ。
それでも3人まとめてひねりつぶせる。我が主はそれだけの自信をお持ちになり、私に同時に3人と戦いと仰せになられたのでピース。そうだ、一つゲームの条件を出し損ねていました。
そら来たぞ。どうせろくな話じゃねえ。
条件の一つくらい出させてやれい。向こうは1人、こっちは3人がかり。少しはハンデがないとこちらも面白みがないというもの。
大したことではありません。皆々様が考察の果てに答えに行き着いた時、3人全員がその答えに同意した上で発表されてほしいのでピース。どのような答えであろうとも3人のうちの1人でもその答えに同意できないならば、それは答えとして提出されない。
確認だが、回答を宣言するのに回数制限はあるのか？
我らの知る名前を片っ端から全て言っていけばいつかは正解できてしまうからな。
Well, I doubt that she's gonna let us do that. More than likely, if we get it wrong the first time, like that is it. Game over.
回数制限を設けなければゲームとして成立しないであろうぞ。
バカね。自分の首を絞めるルールを提案してどうするのよ。
それでも勝つ。
That's right. You go, Queen.
3人で考察し納得して至った答えで一発で打ち取る。
Yeah, sounds about right.
今回の戦い方はどうやら推理のショットガンってよりは狙撃ライフルって感じのようだな。
I like that it's not even a piece who is offering this ultimatum like one answer and that's it. It's us who are going at it with just a one answer because we are just that good.
無論青で牽制は無数に仕掛ける。
But yeah. Like a sniper rifle. Like process of elimination. We find the blue duck among the normal ones and shoot that duck. Pow!
だが輪郭を暴いた後は一発で決める。
我が主からは特に回数制限を定めるようには命じられませんでした。しかしそうすることで皆々様がより興味を持ち白熱した考察バトルをお見せくださるなら我が主も喜んでお受けになるでしょう。
Wait, hold on. So you're saying that if we didn't decide on that restriction, you could have just let us answer like how many times we want and that's it? Unless you're saying that we are never gonna reach that answer, no matter how many times we're gonna give that answer. It's gonna be an endless debate, if that's what you are thinking. But if it's not like that, yeah, that's actually pretty generous of you. Huh. But yeah, let's just go with one answer. I mean, let's make this epic.
やれやれだわ。でもまあおかげで適当に怪しい名前を挙げればいいなんていうくだらない戦いではなくなるようね。
じゃあ始めるぜ。
Alright, let's.
それでは開始でピース。
Balor crossed his arms and looked up at the night sky. Like I did in the game with Battle, I guess I'll step into the position of denying fantasy. With magic, anything goes, and it makes my brain ache. First, Angie and Kiria were eaten, and their entire existence was wiped out. Thus, they were never in this world from its beginning. Both the peace version of me and my old geezer believed that I had no younger sister. To think about it in simple terms, this is like Bato's cherished golden magic. Namely, a false narrative that could be created in exchange for money and other rewards. If you had vast sums of money, you could get couple to say that Angie and Kiria were not in the family. However, both me and my geezer believe in the idea of ladies first, and we're natural contrarians. Whether it's by bribery or threats, I wonder if we'd submit to the request to behave as if Angie and Kiria didn't exist. Nah. Is it possible they were taken hostage or something? So Angie and Kiria could have been taken hostage, and we were ordered to act as if they didn't exist?
ピース、念のために聞くが、このおかしな事件に動機はあるのか？
ほう、さすがはバトラよ。わらはもう今同じことを聞こうとしていた。
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, this game is also considered a story. There will always be a motive behind a killer's actions. And, since it is someone that all three of them know, that means that this culprit had some motivation, like in accordance with the main story, if we're to go with, like, non-meta, in the non-meta aspect. It has to be some motive in accordance with the main story, from, like, episode 1 to 8. That, you know, it isn't their character for something like this to happen. As if it's like, another one of the Beatrice's message in a bottle. Like, written by her. Money, like Balor's promise, like, that sort of stuff. If it's done by one of the witches, like for the sake of alleviating their boredom, like Ben Castell or Lambda Delta, I don't know if I can, like, I don't know if we can really work with something like that. It has to be some human, like, in their magical counterpart in the form of peace. Like, it has to be some human in order for this game to be a challenging one. Like, with motivations, with reasonings, etc. Otherwise, some witch or demon outside the event of Rokkenjima, it will just not cut it. It would just be a boring game at that point. That's why I'm thinking that, when I'm thinking like that, I'm not gonna go all meta on this.
私もよ。気まぐれの無意味に起こした事件ならかけらとしては幻滅するほどにくだらない上に推理する隙も価値もなくなってしまう。
人の心をないがしろにするんじゃねえ。
フーダニット、ハウダニット、そしてホワイダニット。魔女の謎に迫る3つの刃の一つだぜ。そして同時に魔女の謎の格式を決めるものでもある。
うん。特にホワイダニットは重要だ。
I mean, okay, I say that about it not being in a meta sense, but, you know, we had Ben Castell, Lambda Delta being involved in the story. But it's less about it being solved in a murder mystery aspect and more that episode 8 in general represented like Angie's mindset, like a battle of the mind. That was a little bit different. This right here is more than likely in similar fashion to how an event like a Rokkenjima incident would happen in a completely separate way than usual.
それこそがわらわはミステリーにて最も大切な答えであると思っている。
我が主のお作りになられたかけらの格式が疑われるようなことはあってはなりません。ですので、この事件にははっきりとした動機と心があります。
Okay.
心って？
あなた方にもきっと理解してもらえる。人間ならば誰もが理解に及ぶ動機である。
つまり犯人以外の誰にも納得できないような変質的で独善的な動機ではないということだな。
ハンガーぶつけて死ねって言われて富士山が見えなくなったからとかみたいな。犯人にとっては重要でも第三者からはそんな理由で人の命をって驚かれるようなものではないってことだよな。
お兄ちゃんやめて。謝って。できれば額を床にこすりつけて。
ああ、すんません。ゴリゴリゴリゴリゴリ。
The fuck? I didn't get that. I think we just got a nice big hint. By looking at the motive, that can be very useful in approaching the truth. Let's wait one more push to confirm this.
少なくない人間が犠牲になったが。
I mean, if it's motivation we're talking about, and, you know, given what we've seen so far in this, Kirie and Angie, they have been erased. Therefore, maybe it has something to do with Battler and Angie's family, like specifically. And, yeah, I guess so. Like, one thought crosses my mind if I'm to think of it like that, and it is that maybe it is Asumu. Asumu would have motive to kill Kirie since, you know, Rudolph was cheating with her. And if Kirie were to be killed, she would no longer exist in the family. If that's the case, if Kirie were to be killed before Angie's birth, then Angie would not have existed either. Peace Battler, he still exists as of now, so it can be that Asumu found out about the switcheroo that, that Rudolph did in the hospital with Bella. And so she killed Kirie. Like, I don't know, that is one path to pursue in my eyes.
その全員に対し犯人は動機を持っているのか
Yeah, that is... Actually, you know what? That's a good question. Like, if I'm to go with Asumo, she would have a motive to kill Kirie, and therefore erase Angie too, but... the servants? Okay, maybe not.
無論でピース。
キリエさんとエンジに関しては明白にお前が意識して殺したのはわかる。
Ah. Okay. Beller may be onto something here. Yeah, they were killed first. Which is one of the things that made me think of Asumo here. Like, they were chosen first to be killed instead of, Eva and Hideyoshi or Natsui and Kraus, some other couple that would just go outside to smoke and get a breather and such. They were chosen specifically to be the first Kirie to be the first victim and replace them. They were, like, as Beller's saying over here, Peace made a conscious decision to kill them, so that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking of Asumo. Like, was it just on a whim that Peace chose Kirie and Rudolph to go outside? Or was there more to it?
だが、じい様やベアとシャノンちゃんやカノン君、ゲンジさんはどうだ売りかかった火の粉を払っただけなのかそれとも、こっちにも明白な理由があるのか
あります。
Eh? That was an honestly unexpected answer. I mean, given that there are so many sacrifices, like, besides what I just mentioned right over here, this brings us, like, back to the epitaph killings, which would tie into Beatrice now, if we were to think about it. We have to bring in Beatrice into the equation as well in order for this to work. The issue, however, is that we have 7 sacrifices here instead of 6. It is a little bit of a different pattern. Her target was just Kirie and Angie. Everybody else was just her putting out the sparks. If that's the case, I can follow the lines of the family tree. For example, the first suspect is the person who bears the biggest grudge against Kirie and Angie. Kirie's younger sister. Wait. She said that there was. Like, that is the answer to the question that there was an obvious motive. And yet Beller continues the path that he was to put the sparks out. That they were just in the way. I mean, either way, Kasumi? Yeah, she would have a reason to kill Kirie and have Angie erased, and then take place as the wife of Rudolph, like becoming part of the family herself, because of her jealousy for her sister. I guess you could say that Beller and Beatrice have seen Kasumi at some point in the past, before Beller left. Like maybe at some family conference or something like that. Would Kirie invite Kasumi to a family gathering before? Kasumi's smart. We've already seen the depths of her grudge and madness in an earlier fragment. I'm not convinced it's her, but she has an understandable motive. However, if Kasumi was the culprit, she will only have a grudge against Kirie, and she shouldn't meaningfully resent the other members of the family. Going by the illusion of the witch, the murders of the other members were just her sweeping away sparks, but that turned out to be wrong. If Kasumi is the culprit, grandfather would just barely be her target. it doesn't seem like she would expressly target Bato, Shannon, Kanon, or Genji. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, so I was right. I don't know, maybe I interpreted what Battler was thinking wrong with there. Like, Battler does see that there is a obvious motive for their deaths too. Okay.
これはやられたぜ。たどる線を見つけたと思ったらやってくれるぜ。
はっきりされたいでしょうから赤ではっきりと宣言いたしましょうでピース。私にはキリエ、エンジェ、金蔵、ベアトリーチェ、シャノン、カノン、ゲンジに消えてもらわねばならない理由があります。
どうしてだ。
それに答えてくれるわけがない。
いいえ、答えましょう。赤き真実で。
By the nature of the Witch's game, you don't give out unnecessary hints that could draw your opponent closer to yourself, much less state your motive in red. But Peace was doing that. She says this is not in the comical way she has been showing us, but with the eyes that have the eeriness of a doll's.
私という駒がこのゲーム盤上に訪れるためには、彼らはすべていてはならない駒だからです。
In order for her to enter this game board, there were pieces that should not exist. In order for her to enter the game board, there were pieces that should not exist.
しかし、犠牲者の中の幾人かは本来は私と共にいることを許されておりました。しかし、彼らの都合でこのゲーム盤にとどまることができないのです。
I see. In which case... okay. Like, I think this pretty much confirms that we're talking about a human that was also invited to the party. But because of circumstances, they cannot stay on the game board? Huh.
だって取り除かせていただきました。ただ誤解なきように、彼らを取り除いたのは彼らの心をないがしろにしなかったからこそ。しかし私が真に殺したかった者たちには、私はわずかほどの情けも容赦もなく、その心など無視してこのゲーム盤より抹殺した。
That calm intensity made everybody gulp. Right now, she was not speaking as the witch of the game board. She was speaking from the heart of the culprit. And this was a confession.
お前が真に殺したかったというのは一体誰だ。
I really thought that Kiria was the main target, and killing everybody else was incidental or unavoidable. But with this, I don't get it at all. For example, grandfather could be her main target. In order to get a chance to kill him, she could have killed Kiria, and then impersonated her to get into the family conference, looking for an opportunity to assassinate him. Or, if we accept the illusion of the witch as truth, Beato was the main target, and the process of killing her led to the other victims unintentionally getting caught in a crossfire. In particular, if you look at how people were killed, the way they were killed in the illusion story is similar to the way the victims appear in previous stories. Okay. I think I have something here. Hold on a second. Hold on. In order for her to enter the game board, there were pieces that should not exist. You know, I'm reminded that Kinzo is dead before the game begins, so technically he doesn't exist now on the island. What if it's the same for the others? Let's just spin the chessboard around. Like, don't think of the cause that leads to the effect, but the effect that leads to the cause. I don't know about Genji, to be quite honest. But if Beatrice, Shannon, and Kanon do not exist, that means something has led to them not existing prior. What if... I don't know, like what if Yasu decided that she no longer needed those three? The way that piece phrased that read, like, it means that we're talking about alternate stories being told here. I mean, I am reminded that, like at the end of the last side story, this is supposed to be like a message written in a bottle in similar fashion to the others, like something written by Beatrice. Therefore, it makes sense that we're talking about some other alternatives, like, you know, in similar fashion to how episode 3 was written with Eva in mind. Well, actually, no, it was not written by Beatrice, my bad. Like, you know, alternative stories that she would usually do. So... Like, what if Yasu herself decided that they no longer needed Beatrice, Shannon, and Kanon? Maybe it means that Beller did keep his promise and lived happily ever after with Yasu. How did that happen? Because Beller had no reason to leave the family in the first place. Meaning that maybe Asumu was still alive, and that Kirie was no longer in the picture. Like, the possibility of Asumu still being in the family meant that the entire story of Beatrice would never have started to begin with. Boom. There you go. That is something. I think we can work with something here. But that still begs the question, like, what about Genji? I guess this means that Yasu will become the new head of the family. Yasu would have no reason to kill anymore in that case. Like... For example, it will be similar to Bato's epitaph murders. No. In the first place, as far as the choice of victims goes, having a phony target in addition to a real target is so the whodunit does not reach the culprit. But in this case, she said they're all pieces that shouldn't exist, so it's in conflict with what she said earlier.
Hoaidanit というこれ見よがしな雲の糸を垂らされ、まんまと思考を絡め取られたようだな。
とても重要な何かを聞き出せたとは思うけど、そこに思考をとらわれては意味はないわ。他の角度からのアプローチも必要よ。
ああ、そうだな。
あんたのその小バカにした笑い方、私はずっとある人物を思い浮かべていたのよ。
Go on.
それは誰だ？
Reminds you of someone.
私は動機の線ではなく、あくまでもこのピースという魔女の雰囲気やイメージから連想を探していた。
私は誰？
その知的優位におごる態度と笑い声、我が同志にそっくりなのよ。
で、Comrade. 銃座 No, you're not talking the haughtiness and laughter that lights in an intellectual overbearance. You're not talking about Erika, right? Comrade?
あの御人か。
これは心外ですね、同志エンジェ。
Yeah, I guess. It is comrade because of the whole Witch of Truth thing. Okay, well, it is what it is. Like, I have doubts that Erika is the culprit here at this point. Although, maybe I can put this to good use. Oh, Erika! What? You don't happen to know if your mother was dating someone at the time of your death, right? As if I'm gonna entertain your insipid and wild fan fiction about me. You damn oaf. Now get out of my face!
真実の魔女たるもの、知的さと優雅さを兼ね備えていて当然です。それで、そこの品のない駒の魔女とやらが、この私にどうそっくりなのでしょう。
そっくりも何もそのものだと思うけれど。
それでは伺いましょうか、同志エンジェ。あなたの紡ぎ出した真実を。
まさかあいつが現れるとはな。
そなたの妹は反言の魔女であるぞ。エンジェが望めば生死を問わずそれはいる。
ただしそれは反言の魔女自身にしか認知できない。
他者には認識できないが、それを理由に否定することもできない。それが反言の魔女の反言。
要するにエンジェが脳内に自在に召喚できる仮想人格、分割並列思考というわけでですね。
Huh. Hold on. Okay then.
他者には
器用な魔法でピース。
フルドエリカは六軒島に漂着し得た唯一の招かれていない客人よ。ハロウィンパーティーに突然現れたイレギュラーな客人は彼女を置いて他にいない。
That is true.
後ろ宮家犯人説を否定した方々に愛されてやまない真実の魔女にして招かれざる名探偵とはこの私のこと。
フルドエリカが本来はどのような人物なのかは定まっていない。分かっているのはプレジャーボートから転落するというドジなこと言うだけ。
Ooh. Are we gonna learn something more about Erika?
しかしこの私が魔女のゲーム版に登場した時には一つの人格を持っておりました。
An intellectual rapist. He was a disgusting nickname. That was an intellectual supremacist who looked down on others, and who got the greatest joy from intellectually violating people.
六軒島に漂着して一晩のゲストとして迎えられたフルドエリカ。探偵を気取る彼女に一泡吹かせてやろうと後ろ宮家の人間たちが結託して狂言殺人事件を起こした可能性。
いかなるトリックをもってしてもこの私の完全なる検視を免れて死んだふりをして容疑者リストから逃れようとすることなどできません。
Alright.
つまりはこういう筋書きはどう？実はこのハロウィンパーティーの夜エリカは六軒島に漂着し客人として迎え入れられていた。
During the party, the family was very excited from the puzzles and quizzes.
そこへ現れた自称名探偵が空気も読まずズバズバと答えまくって調子に乗りまくって大人たちを辟易とさせてしまう。
She ruins the Halloween party for Angie, similarly to how she beat Maria in episode 6. Like a little bitch that gets her kicks out of stealing candy from little children. And feeling good about it on top.
するとこの私に敗北した屈辱を晴らしたい大人げない大人たちがくだらない猿芝居を目論むわけです。
For example, Mom and I suddenly disappear. The next morning, Dad and Oni-chan would ask Erika about it, and Kirie would jump out as a prank, in order to startle and tease her.
過去のかけらを重ね見る限り、後ろ宮家の皆さんは非常にお芝居がお上手と言いますか、お好きと言いますか。
そんなおかしなお芝居で驚かせようとしてみたり、あるいはさらにその上使用人たちに死んだふりまでさせて連続殺人事件のお芝居をしてみたりとか。
This crazy story had undeniably appeared in one of the past game records. Whether it was a reasonable motive or not, even if it was presently one-sided, there was nothing to block Angie's logic.
答えは3人全員の合意の上でとのことだけれど、私とエリカで至った真実を一方的にぶつけさせてもらうわ。
そのお綺麗な顔がどう歪むか想像するだけで絶頂しそうになっちゃいますね。
Okay. Just gonna ignore that comment there.
なるほど、確かに私たちどこかキャラが似てますてピー。似たようなコマが2つも並んでは実に邪魔でピー。
おや、似ているのは雰囲気だけなのに脳の容積にこれほど違いがあるというのにお邪魔だったでしょうか。
グッド青で宣言するわ。犯人はフルド・エリカ。一連の事件は全てエリカを騙すため、あるいはからかうための狂言よ。私やお母さんをみんなが突然認知できなくなったのはそういう芝居を示し合わせたから。
That will explain what you said with Red Truth. For several of the victims, I was originally going to allow them to live. However, because of their circumstances, they cannot stay on this game board. Therefore, I removed them. Does it really explain though? I don't know. What this refers to, clearly, is Erika's perfect autopsy. For this woman who calls herself an intellectual rapist, somebody who is an intellectual inferior challenging her with a mysteries akin to blasphemy, she would fly into a rage, and by way of that perfect autopsy, would change the fate of this silly play. Ah. Yeah, I guess in similar fashion to the other episodes, because of circumstances, she had to be, like, those had to be removed. A.k.a. Erika herself killing them in this silly little fake murder mystery plan.
これでチェック。
メイト、すべてはフルドエリカの存在と彼女の持つ高潔にして下劣なる知的蹂躙者のプライドが傷つけられたからで動機を説明できる。
I mean, I guess. Kinda boring though.
あなたの赤き真実、私が真に殺したかった者たちには、私はわずかほどの情けも容赦もなく、その心など無視してこのゲーム版より抹殺したわ。この名探偵を狂言で試そうとした大罪に対する怒りを示しているのです。名探偵を試すこと。
What about the red truth that says the culprit is someone that existed from episode 1-8 like through episode 8? Erika only appeared from episode 5 onwards, so what's the deal with that?
それはザ・ブックに記されし、神を試してはならないにさえ等しいこと。これは私への冒涜に対する当然の神罰なのです。いかがです？
フルドエリカ並びに
Oh my god.
後宮エンジェには
This art. I remember this art. I even used it in one of my videos. So this is where it came from. Okay.
この程度の推理が可能です。
Okay. Angie and Erika stood back to back while pointing their index fingers at Peace, as if to condemn her. Even though two people were pointing at Peace, she didn't lose her calm smile. The other version of Angie, the Witch of Truth, while showing off a wink with their signature pose, scatters as a faintly glowing swarm of butterflies.
ピース。実にピースフルな推理、心より感謝いたしますでピー。ではありますが、すでに申し上げております通り、それが3人全員で同意した推理であるか確認させていただきマピス。何しろチャンスは一度のみ。それもそちらの偉大なる大ベアトリーチェ卿が自ら課したルールでございまピースので。
バカなルールを課したものね。ま、別に構わないわ。
Oh my god. You know, imagine if, Beatrice specifically thought about this one answer rule because she knew that Angie would go down this rabbit hole, and maybe she's gonna try and teach Angie something through this because it's wrong. It's just, it's not Umineko like this answer right over here. To be quite honest, like Beatrice and Beller, they are not gonna agree with this answer right over here.
二人に納得してもらうだけの話。
エンジェ、本当にエリカ犯人説で良いのか？
他にある？
犯人が人間に限定されるというのならば、そなたの答え、もっともと思う。しかし、今回は魔女幻想の住人が犯人であることを禁じ手としてはおらぬのだぞ。
ラムダのお友達の化け物とか、フェザリーヌの従えてた黒猫たちとか、あるいはベルンカステルやらラムダデルタやら、何でもありになるじゃない。
そうとも、何でもありとなる。だからこそ、この人物ならば可能だという言い方ではおそらく、真実は暴けまい。
どういうこと？
可能な人物が複数いる状況では、可能であることが犯人である証拠にはならないってことだ。それにピースは最初に赤き真実ではっきり明言している。私はエピソード1からエピソード8までの間に存在している一人の人物ですとな。
Basically.
つまりピースとやらの正体を暴く手段としては、フーダニットとハウダニットは 特定の一人の犯人に行き着く道しるべとはなり得ないということだ。
さっきあんたとお兄ちゃんはホワイダニットから探る方法はピースの罠にはまって混乱するだけかもしれないと言ったわ。それで私はフーとハウから探り最も確率の高い人物名を挙げた。
それじゃダメなんだ。確率が高いじゃ推理にならない。こいつしかありえない。そこまで研ぎ澄まして初めて推理なんだ。
Yeah, true. Also, like, it's a fine answer, but it's definitely not a Umineko style answer that would satisfy me. Like, where's the romanticism? Where's the heart? Where's, like, that revelation that will bawl our eyes out or something like that? This is, like, supposed to be, like, the end of Umineko. Like, the last note. It has to be something cool. Angie is also intelligent, but she has the same weakness her brother does, which is that she is easily clouded by emotion. So when the reasoning she built up was denied by two people, it took some time to regain her composure.
ホワイもフーもハウもお手上げなら
Yeah, it's as if Angie was going down that Witch of Truth route that we've seen in the other alternate ending.
どう推理しろというのよ。
となると今度こそわらわの出番であろうよ。
In fact, you know what? The fact that Peace just sprinkled Erika a little bit at the beginning with that little joke that, oh, it was me, Peace. You thought that I was the perverted detective? No, it was me. That might have been a little bit of a mind trickery to make Angie think of Erika at some point. Maybe.
わらわは探偵ではない。魔女だ。魔女は推理などせぬのでな。
俺と演者は人間が犯人に違いないという前提で挑んでた。ならベアとはその前提をひっくり返したところから攻める。
Okay.
キリエがいつも言っていたであろう。チェス盤をひっくり返すというやつよ。ただしこの場合は犯人の立場を想像して推理をするではない。人間が犯人であるという前提をひっくり返す。
どうやって？
かつてのベアトリーチェ卿のゲームとは少し毛色が違うでしょ
魔女幻想の住人は何でもありなのよ。人間を丸飲みして存在した事実ごと消し去れるなんて、それこそ誰がやったっておかしくない。だからそれでは真実は暴けないと言ったのはベアト自身だったじゃない。
そうともフーもハウも何でもありの幻想の住人たちには通用しない。しかしホワイは違うぞ。
ああ、フェザリーヌやらベルンカステルにも犯行は可能かもしれない。しかしこんないびつな事件を起こす動機がない。
魔女ってのは戯れや気まぐれで人を殺せる連中でしょ。魔女に動機を求めるなんてバカバカしい。考えるだけ無駄じゃない。
それをこの猫箱の全てを知った今でもベアトの前で言えるのか。
それは
In Better's eyes, this was no joke or laughing matter, and Angie realized she hadn't spoke.
魔女のゲームはな、何でもありだ。考えるのがバカバカしくなりそうなくらいに異常で狂ってて常識外れでイカれてる。だがな、絶対にないがしろにするな、心を。
Heck yeah. The witches are ridiculous. They have absurd powers they can use as they please. But they only have one, just like a baby or an animal. And it's bugging me.
心が伝えられねえんだよ。シンプルな言葉で素直に喋れねえ天の弱なんだよ。それなのに人の心を求めて人に近づかずにはいられない。なのにそれを素直な言葉で示せない、バカで間抜けでどうしようもなくかわいそうな連中なんだよ。
Amen to that, brother. That resonates with the feelings that I had in the earlier episodes when I was saying this stuff to Beatrice. Like, man, can you just stop with the waxing poetics here? And this is why you cannot treat the witch's game carelessly.
大バカの寂しがり屋がそれでも精一杯拙くても必死に書き上げたかけらを考えるだけ無駄だとか絶対に言うんじゃねえ。
Yeah.
かなわぬな。バトラにかかれば千年の魔女のメッセージボトルも小学生が初めて書いたラブレター扱いであるな。
バトラー。
I don't know if your words are spoken from the mouth of a human, or from the mouth of the Lord of the Golden Land and husband of the Golden Witch.
我が主の命令とはいえ、私はここへやってくるのが本心では億劫でなりませんでした。来たところで何も得るものなどない。むしろきっと自分で自分を嫌になるような思いをするだけだと。
However, this was worth doing.
あなたの口からそのような言葉を聞けただけで、私は今日ここに魔女
ベアと、そしてピース、それから出会ったことのない無数の魔女たちに謝るわ。それにすでにあんたははっきりと赤で宣言している。この事件にははっきりとした動機と心があるとね。
Basically.
取り乱してふてくされてしまった自分が恥ずかしいわ。
気にするな。それでこそバトラの妹らしくて小気味よい。
You are just like your brother, not gonna lie. Emotionally charged, like from top to bottom at times.
でもホワイダニットで答えに迫る方法は一度挫折したんじゃなかったの？
そうだな。少なくとも人間に限った容疑者に対してはな。
何でもありの魔女たちから本気でホワイダニットを、人の心を読み取れるというの？
そうだ。魔女に本当の本気で人の心がなかったなら、奴らは人間の姿など形作らない。
Even though they have become witches, they still want to get close to others. So they keep the forms of humans. If they earnestly look down on humans and lose interest in them, they will stop having any form, let alone a human form. They quickly end up as scraps of seaweed. They sink and scatter in the sea of fragments, becoming a snowflake in the abyss of oblivion where the sun never shines.
人の心をないがしろにするな。ウィザードハンティングライト。
Will. He is undeniably a witch killer. My omnipotent master still hasn't forgotten that human who shooed me at battle. That's right. All the goats of witches want to be defeated like that, with a eulogy. So they get them. Like Rokenjima's Beatrice.
正直惜しくなってきましたでピース。
惜しい。
こんな素敵な子をあなたごときひねくれ者が伴侶として独占することは、元老院への全ての魔女への大罪でピース。
やらんぞ。 バーカ。
私程度に潰される程度ならバトラ君はあなたにはふさわしくありません。
面白い。試すかババア。
二人には自由に推理を楽しませてあげましたが、お前にはそんなゆとりは与えません。
I don't know what has offended or upset peace, but I can certainly feel the invisible sparks quietly flying between Battle and Pierce.
何が二人を駆り立ててるの？
だがこれでいい。これでこそはるばると虚無の海を渡ってここまで来てくれた彼女に最もふさわしい艦隊だ。
Now, Beatrice, my golden brains, rip it open. This wound, the switch of the piece, rip her open. Open the cat box! That's right, what Eller said is correct. Witches are lonely, and yet they're clumsy. Stupid idiots who can't communicate that. All they have to say, I'm lonely, please give me some attention. But they are so crass and considerate that they fill 1,000 bottles with redundant stories that take 1,000 years to read and release them into the ocean. Yeah, basically. And the big idiots wait on the beach for someone to read it, even if it takes anyone 1,000 years and 1,000 times over for them to decipher it. I'm going to tear you open, and then I'll accept your message. Alright, let's go! Why did Kirie, Angie, Kinzo, Bato, Shannon, Kanon, and Genji have to disappear? She said, in order for me to enter this game board, there were pieces that should not exist. What does that mean? If we deny fantasy, I'd interpret it as an unshakable intent to kill them, maybe even against the rules entirely. But since this is a witch's game, maybe there's another way to interpret it? For example, we cannot appear in front of those who possess the anti-magic toxin.
しかしお前たち以外にそんなルールを持つ駒はいなかったはずだ。
同時に存在できない人物、そんなのがいるの？
私という駒がこのゲーム盤上を訪れるためには存在が許されない駒。
ベアト、推理なんて堅苦しいものにとらわれるな。お前はクソジジイのあのクソったれ秘文を解いた黄金の魔女だろ。
You can do it, Bato. You can do it. At any rate, Kinzo's epitaph didn't require witty reasoning. He is just childish, self-important wordplay. You needed flexible thinking. You didn't need precise mathematics for these deductions. You attack it with associations, fantasies, and whatever inspiration you can find.
あらあら、私の謎遊び呼ばわりですか？大事なことなので。そしてご存知ないでしょうから、この際赤き真実ではっきりとさせておきましょうね。私謎遊びは大の得意なんですよ。それもあなたよりも。
Riddles my specialty. I'm even better at them than you are.
ほほう、それをわざわざ赤で言うか。
あなたが謎解き遊びに夢中になったのなんて、せいぜいバトラ君と出会う前後からのほんの10年にも満たない短い時間じゃないですか。私はあんたごとき小娘とは違うんです。あんたが生まれる前からずーっと謎遊びが大好きで大得意なんです。